So today we are creating our first workflow. So to create our first workflow, we are considering one situation that you are running in Shopify store, customers coming onto your Shopify store and placing their orders. Then after placing their orders, that data should go into our Excel sheet for the analysis purpose. And from that data, user should receive an order confirmation email with their product details. So let's see how we can do this in the n8n. In that we will be learning about how we can set Excel then Gmail into our n8n and how to set their credentials. So let's first start our n8n server. To start our n8n server, we will be just opening our CMD. So let's type CMD. In that we just have to write n8n start. So it will start our n8n server locally. We will be looking everything locally, means how we can do automations in local mode. So it is on the port number 5678. So if we click just O, then it will open n8n server in the browser. So currently it has opened the server in the browser. So we will be creating a new workflow. So to create a new workflow, just click on this plus icon, select workflow. So it is setting up the workflow. So for that, firstly we will be looking that we will be adding first node. So the first node we will be using, that is the webhook. Webhook, why we are using this node? Because when the data is coming from the Shopify store, that method should be used. Means to intercept that call and to get that data, we need to use this webhook method. So currently I don't have any Shopify store ready, so I have created some sample data. So this is my sample data. I am just copying this data and pasting into the webhook. So to add that data, means to set this mock data, just click on this set mock data. So here is some sample data is present in the JSON format. I'm just pasting my data. So now you can see that I have pasted some data with the order details and customer details. So I save this and I will show you that data in the tabular format. So here is the order ID. So I have considered the order ID as 12345. Then customer name is John. Its email is john.doexam@example.com and its address. So currently he has two products. One is the jacket of price $59.99. And the second product is t-shirt. So he have bought two t-shirt with the price of $19.99 and the total price is $99.97. So this will be our sample data. Then we will be adding this data into the Excel sheet. For that we have to add our Excel node. To add that Excel node, we can just click on this plus icon. Then here just search for the Excel. Google Sheet. So in the Google Sheet, what we are doing? So we are storing the data. So for that, we are appending our data or updating our data. So we will be just clicking on this append or update row in sheet. So in that, we have to set our credential to connect with the n8n. So to create that credentials, we need to just click on the create new credential. When we click on this create new credentials, it will open up this screen. In that will be having this OAuth redirected URL, in client ID, client secret, and we need to fill this information. So how we are dealing with this? So for that we just have to open new tab and we have to go to Google's cloud platform. Google Cloud Console. Just search for this and go on to this. Just click on the console. So now we redirected to the console. So now we have to create one new project. To create the new project, we can click here, new project. So the project name we will be keeping as workflow 1, and we are clicking on the create. So it will create our new project. Then select this project. So now we are into our workflow project. Then just go to into this API and services in the quick access. So it is opening. We need to enable our Google Sheet API. Also, we need to enable our Gmail API too for sending email purpose. So we will be typing sheets. So we got this Google Sheet API. Just click on this and enable it. So now it is enabled. We have to go onto the OAuth consent screen. Here we have to fill some information. So here user type we need to select the external, so that any test user can access this. Then just click on the create. So we have to give some application name. So I am giving the application name as Shopify demo. User support email address, I'm currently giving my email address here only. Then app logo, these are the optional field. Either you can skip it or you can add the related information. So here we need to add developers contact information. So here also I am adding my contact information only, email address only. So it is my unofficial email address. Just click on save and continue. So it is just click on the save and continue. Here add user, so that we can use this to test. So it will be used for this email will be this user will be used to test our workflow. So I'm giving the same user. So I have added my email address here. So now you can see that here is the user information. Let's save and continue. Security saying that my user account is not eligible for as a test keyword, as a test user. I don't know. Let's see. I'm going back onto the dashboard. Save your, it is the same email address. Okay, let's see if we can use this or not. Let's go on to the credential screen. just click on the create credentials with client ID. So application type is web application. So web client 1, we are giving the name as web client 1. Here we have to add this authorized redirect URL. So for this we will be going into the n8n. So here is OAuth redirect URL. You just have to copy it, click to copy and go here and paste it. Then then click on create. So it has given the client ID and client security key. So just copy that and paste in the client ID and client secret also, copy it and paste into the client secret and click on the sign in with Google. Select your email. It is saying that Google hasn't verified this app. Just set on the continue and I am giving the all access to this and clicking on to the continue. So now it got connected to the Google Sheet and this credential got added. So that's it to add the credential of Google Sheets onto our n8n. So we can close it. Now which sheet we want to access? So for that means to store that data, we will be creating one new sheet. To create the new sheet, I'm going on to the drive. In the drive I have some location. Here I'm creating one new Excel sheet. I'm renaming it to our file rename work Shopify workflow. Shopify workflow. Okay. So I'll be creating two sheets, one to store the user details and one to store the order details. So first this sheet will be the order user details. In the user details, first column which I am creating is order ID. Order ID. Second is name. Third is email. Fourth is alt text. Renaming this sheet to user details. And also I'm creating new sheet. That new sheet for the storing the product details. So here also I'm giving the order ID. Then product ID. Then quantity. What was the product name? And what was its price? So this is going to be our columns. And we will be giving name to this sheet as order details. Order details. Let's copy this. Ctrl A, Ctrl C. Go on to our n8n. So now sheet within documents. Append document from list. So we don't have. So we will be adding by URL. So here we are pasting just our URL. So it will try to connect it. So from list, you have to choose. So currently I am choosing the user details to store the user data and selecting map each column manually. Column to match on. So it is saying that the column to use when matching rows in Google Sheets to input items of this node, usually an ID. So in the Excel sheet, we have to differentiate that data. So to differentiation of that data, we need one column which will be having the single data. So for that, we will be using an ID. So for that, we have using this order ID. So we will be selecting the order ID as a as a column to match on. So here just copy this, paste here. Here, either you will select it, just order ID. So to here in the order ID, what we are going to save. So we will be storing this order ID. So just paste it, order ID. Okay. Then email. For the email address, we are selecting this customer's email. Just copy it, paste it. Okay. For the address, copy it, paste it. Yeah. So we have to add one more column, that is for the name. In the name, we are selecting this, paste. So we have added this. So that's it. In this node, we will be adding the second node to store the order details. For that also, we will be adding one Google Sheet node. Just type Google Sheets. Click here. We are doing append and update row in Sheet. So in that also, we will be doing the same thing. From the list, by URL, just paste our URL. From this list, we will be choosing the sheet. In the sheet, we will be choosing order details. In the order details, we will be having some columns. Then columns to match on. We will be matching the data based on the order ID only. So in the order ID, what we are selecting. So for that, we will be looking into the previous data. So once the previous node is executed, then data will be come to us. So I am taking the data from the webhooks only. So here the order ID, for the order ID, map this product ID. So currently we have the multiple products. So multiple product ID will be there. So how to map that product ID? So in the to store the data, we need to give the all product ID. So how can we give that product ID? So for that, we will be iterating over this webhook data, webhooks data, that is the items. In the items data, from this items we will be fetching all the product IDs. So how we can do this? So for that, just select this product ID, add it in the product. Then in the here in the webhooks, so it is referring to the webhooks. So we will be considering the first object of it. So for that, we have to just type the first, then dot, then from the first object we have to select these items. For that items, select these items. Then from these items, so actually this data is in the here this item should come here only. Okay, so this is the JSON. So first this is the JSON data, then dot, what we are doing that as the items. From these items we have to fetch all the product ID. For that, we are not selecting any items. Instead of that, we will be iterating over it. So for that, we will be using one JavaScript simple function, that is the map. In the map, we have to give one parameter. Based on that, we will be iterating over it. So I am creating one parameter, that is a product. So equal to, so here just have to write product dot, what is that item name, that is the product ID. Simply close it. So now here you can see this in the result. We will be having one array with the all the information. In the name also we will be doing the same thing. Just copy it, paste it here. Just instead of the product ID, we are accessing the name dot name. Okay, so we will be having this data also. So we are adding some more columns, that is a quantity. So for the quantity also we are doing the same thing. Just instead of the product ID, here we have to select ID. Sorry, quantity. Quantity. We have to add one more node, that is for the price. So for the price also, just copy it, paste it. Instead of the product name, we are just typing PRICE, price. Okay. So let's test this. So now here you can see that on this order ID, we will be having the two items, that is the jacket and t-shirt, with the product ID 101 and 102. So let's back onto the console. So currently in our Excel sheet, the data should have been added. So for this order ID, we will be having this array, that the product ID, that the two products which are used here. In a quantity, we are getting the whole string instead of the value. Okay, let's see that. Also in the name, it's okay. So now we are getting the proper names. For the price also, we are getting the string. So let's check why this is happening. Just click on this. In the webhooks here, remove this. So values to set. Quantity. In the quantity, we are adding expression. Control C. Add this expression here. Here just click on quantity. 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 So actually this is just for the demonstration purpose. We can design this database in a properly perfect format. We can create multiple tables and we can map that using the foreign keys and primary keys. We can use that combination also, but this is not our purpose. Our purpose is to just store that data into the Excel sheet. So that's why we are doing this kind of thing, but we can do it absolutely. So here I'm adding this expression. So here just add, instead of name, here just write price. Okay, so we will be getting the price and everything. So let's test it. So after testing it, let's see the output data. Output data is properly, we are getting the output data as properly in the Excel sheet. Also we refresh it, just reload it. Let's see what is the data. So we are getting the proper data in the proper format. So yeah, we are able to save that data into the Excel sheet. So now our part is sending the email. For that we have to add one email node, Gmail. Okay, in the Gmail we have to send a message. Go here. To send the message, we have to connect credential. To connect the credentials, so now I will show you how to create that credential also. So the steps are exactly the same. So let's go onto our API. Just go here, create credentials. Then firstly we will enable API and services here. Enable API and services. Just click on here. The API which we want to use is from the Gmail. Just type Gmail. After typing the Gmail, just enter it. So we got this Gmail API. Just enable it. So after enabling it, we have to go to the O consent screen. So actually we have already given the consent. Still, so we directly give the credential. We can directly create the credentials for that. For the creation of credential, just click on this create credential. What client ID, application type is the web application. So name we are keeping the same. So here we need to add this redirect URL. For that, just go on to the n8n. Create new credentials. This copy this what redirect URL. Copy here, paste here, and saved it. So it will create. Then the next step is just copy the client ID and secret key and paste into the n8n. So here I am pasting the client ID, client secret key. Here I have pasted the client secret key and just sign in with Google. After signing in with Google, you will be able to send the emails. For that, just give all the accesses to this. I am giving the all accesses. You can read its terms and condition. So now it got connected. So I am closing this window. Okay. So here to send the email address, we can select directly whom we want to send this email ID. Sorry, email, auto confirmation email. So we can directly add this email address also. But actually we don't have this email ID. So I am adding my email ID here. Okay. Let's add it. Let's add email ID of John's only. HTML. So what is the message? So here we need to type and message. So to type that message, what we can do, we can simply go on to ChatGPT. So I'm click create. I'm opening the ChatGPT because I don't like to write the whole code of HTML code for the Gmail. So instead of that, I'm giving just this information to ChatGPT that I want to create an HTML email for sending order confirmation details to user. And what all data we have, we can give that from the table data, from the JSON data. We can just copy it, just copy all this data, just copy all this JSON data and give it to our ChatGPT. This is my sample data. Use this JSON to create placeholder for sending email. Okay. So here they have created some HTML for the order confirmation details. So just copying this. After copying this, just hop onto our n8n screen in the message, type it as an expression. So it will be HTML expression. It will be having all the details. Here we are having the order ID. So just go on to the schema. In the schema, here they have given the order ID. So instead of that order ID, we will be copying it and pasting it because their order ID and our order ID is different. Okay, remove this order ID from here. Okay. Okay. Remove this order ID. Copy your order ID, paste it here. Okay. Then these are the each products. Instead of this each products, we will be clicking on this item. Go on to the items, remove this each products. This dot name, okay. This dot quantity is okay. This dot price is okay. This dot total. So for that, instead of this dot total, we have to just remove this total. This dot total, remove this, and our total price. here. Okay. So actually they have used different kind of data, so it is creating this issue. Let's see how the data will go, how this data will go in the email. Here from instead of this dot name, we should use product dot log. Okay. So currently what we have done, currently we have statically added those fields which are not getting populated earlier. So here if you can see here we have added the all the fields, that is the price, quantity from the webhook. So item 0, item 1 you can see here. So now this all information is static. So let's test it. So let's back on, no, for testing it, let's back onto our canvas and click on the test workflow. So now it is running. So it will be update our Google Sheets with the data and send the email. So now let's check our email. So now here if you can see here in the send box to the John Doe, if it will open this after refreshing it, now order ID, customer email, shop shipping address and product details we can show here. So this is the order confirmation email from Zenbio Ventures, that is my email ID which I have used to send email to the John Doe. So this is how our email is looks like, and this is how we can send email with n8n by adding the Gmail node. If you got any value from this video, please like it, share it, and to get more advanced tutorials, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.